Kaleidoscope, a weekly public affairs program brought to you in partnership with the Urban League of Greater Cleveland, Kaleidoscope Magazine, and News Channel 5.
Good afternoon, good morning, everyone. Good to have you with us. The Kim Sellers Foundation provides support and education to individuals with multiple sclerosis. Founder Kim Sellers is here to talk about the organization and her annual fundraiser as well. And then Cleveland City Councilman Jeffrey Johnson will tell us about the annual Glenville Festival and what to expect this year. Later in the broadcast, Lavora Perry and Colleen Kessler will tell us about the annual conference for writers and illustrators of children's books. Good morning again. I'm Leon Bibb. This is Kaleidoscope, and so we begin. Beginning with one of my good friends and with a well-known woman in Cleveland, ladies and gentlemen, Kim Sellers, who's president of the Kim Sellers Foundation, also who is the host of The Quiet Storm on WZAK 93.1 on the radio dial.
For those of you who understand old school music.
Old school music. Always good to see you, Kim.
Good to see you as well, Leon.
Yeah. You're here to talk about your foundation, the Kim Sellers Foundation.
You know, the foundation is just growing, and we're so concerned about those individuals who are being diagnosed every day
with multiple sclerosis.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Northeast Ohio is a hotbed. So many people have been diagnosed right here in this area. We don't know why. We don't know if it's environmental. And most importantly, African Americans still don't know what MS is. So we're just concerned about creating more awareness and educating people about MS.
What does MS do? What is it?
It is a disease of the central nervous system. It affects your nerves, so it's kind of like the cords around. I like to always use the example of a curling iron. So when the curling iron, the wire around it, begins to go bad, the signal to the curling iron doesn't work. Your nerves are the same way. The myelin sheath is what covers the nerves. When the myelin sheath depletes, then you have what they call disruption in your nervous system.
Yes.
So depending on where it lies, depends on your disability.
I know you've been dealing with it for some years. How are you feeling? How's it going?
You know what? Believe it or not, Leon, I feel great. The last 2 years have been very pivotal for me. I've really made a lot of progress. I go to the gym 5 days a week. I've got 2 different trainers that I work out with that I just absolutely love, and they've been tremendous in helping me improve. I just believe that the diagnosis of being told that you have MS is not the end. It just changes your life.
And you're working every day over the radio station?
Every day they've been wonderful. My Radio 1 family has been wonderful. I've got a new boss that is in town from Philly that's just been so accommodating. So, life is good. I could complain, but I surely wouldn't do it.
Let's talk a little bit about your foundation. You've got a big fundraiser coming up, and you really want to plug that. That's going to be on August the 28th. Where's that going to be now?
It's going to be at the Intercontinental Hotel, 7 p.m., and we're hoping that people will come out and support the annual fundraiser. This is how we raise monies to help individuals, to educate them, to help them as patients, their family members, to learn to understand what a family member is going through, caretakers or anyone that's is concerned about MS.
What day of the week is that?
That's a Saturday. We do a free educational seminar that morning at 9:30 a.m. at the Intercontinental Hotel. It's free, and then we follow it up that evening by the annual fundraiser, which we have national comedian Huggy Lowdown from the Tom Joyner Morning Show. It's going to be in town as well.
That'll be great. That'll be great.
Awesome.
That's going to be wonderful.
It'll be awesome.
So it's all day. It really starts at 9 o'clock in the morning with the educational part of it, and then you have the entertainment and all of some of the other fun things.
Absolutely, and we do a live. We do a live auction and a silent auction, so we're hoping.
Saturday, August the 28th, the Intercontinental Hotel, which is located on Carnegie Avenue at East 100th Street, if memory serves me correctly. And it's going to be a good time. It's had by all. By the way, I want to put a phone number on the screen, and 721-7385. You can get more information on everything we are talking about, or you can go to the KimSellersFoundation.org, and notice the spelling of Kim is K-Y-M. KimSellersFoundation.org. Get more information. How much are the tickets to your fundraiser?
They're $135 a piece, and I know it's this is a tough economy, and we know that that's a stiff price, but it's for a worthy cause, and we're hoping that people will make this the charity of their choice.
And it's a wonderful charity, and you certainly have rung that bell so many times for about the foundation and about multiple sclerosis. What is it that you want us to keep in mind when we think about multiple sclerosis?
I want people to understand that these are people who, their minds are great, their minds are fine, and they just want to live a normal life. You know, like my kids, they know that mommy has MS, but they really don't understand what it is. They just want to know that I'm going to be at their soccer game or their basketball game. And I want people to understand that just treat us like normal individuals. We're fine.
You certainly are.
We're fine.
And there's a brightness in your eye, and the spirit of you, really, the spirit of this woman shines through. When you look at her, you see that spirit. And I hear it in your voice. I hear it right now, and I hear it when you're on the radio.
Oh, thank you so much.
We can catch you during the evenings, too, can't we?
That's right, 7 p.m.
On WZAK.
Monday through Friday.
93.1 on the radio dial, as they say. WZAK.
You're
Quiet Storm. That's my... One day I'm going to come over with you, and we'll do a show together.
I would love that. I would absolutely love it.
That would be just wonderful.
But you got to talk about love stuff.
Oh, well, I talk about a lot of love stuff. We'll talk love stuff. And we'll do some poetry, maybe. We'll do
that
some
would be
special...
wonderful.
Mix it with a little music. But mostly we want people to remember August the 28th, Saturday, the Intercontinental Hotel at Carnegie and East 100th Street. It's the big event. Starts at 9 o'clock in the morning with education and your big event on into the evening.
Yes, and I want to make sure people understand the seminar is free.
The seminar is free.
It is
free. But the entertainment portion of it during the evening.
Is our fundraiser.
So if people just show up there in the morning, they can get information on multiple sclerosis.
Absolutely.
Kim Sellers, you're a sweetheart. You're wonderful.
Leon, you're even better.
Oh, good to have you on the broadcast.
Thank you so much.
Friend. Be well. God bless you and the family.
Absolutely.
Say to everybody in the family.
I sure will.
I got to take a break. I'll be right back in a moment. This is Kaleidoscope. We will continue. We'll be talking to Jeffrey Johnson about this year's Glenville Festival. Councilman Jeffrey Johnson in a moment. Welcome back to more of Kaleidoscope today. The annual Glenville Festival takes place Saturday, August the 14th, and Cleveland City Councilman Jeff Johnson is here to talk more about the event and why this year's celebration is so special for the Glenville community. Good to see you, Jeff.
Good to see you.
Yeah,
fellow tar-blooded from at least the neighborhood.
From the neighborhood.
I did go to Collinwood.
I grew up in the Glenville neighborhood.
Yes,
in fact, I grew up right around the block from where you live.
We're very proud of you. We claim you every day.
Well, Glenville was good for me. We lived there for 17 years. When I was a kid growing up.
Wonderful.
Mother and Dad built the house. And you're the councilman from and you represent certainly the Glenville area.
Yep, I started back in January. You know, I was back in the 80s. I was a councilman, and they allowed me to come back starting in January. It's a wonderful, having a wonderful time trying to restore, rehabilitate, and continue to strengthen the Glenville area.
It is a community that has a proud history going back for certainly a century at least.
Once known as the Gold Coast.
The Gold Coast, the Glenville neighborhood. So what's the Glenville Community Festival?
Well, you know, it started 33 years under former mayor, then Councilman Mike White. And the purpose is really to just be able to continue that legacy of pride, and so we have fun. We just simply, and it's family oriented. We have music, we have booths with food, and young people, older people. So it is the tradition that was started with former Councilman Mike White.
So you're going to have it on Saturday, August the 14th.
Beginning at 12. But we also have two other things over the years that's been added. We have a 5K run, 1 mile walk that Famicos and the Glenville Community Foundation is doing together. And we have the parade. We have a wonderful parade. Starts at 105th and St. Clair, goes south down 105th Street, west Superior, and then north up East Boulevard right into Sam Miller Park at 88th and St. Clair. Shaw Band, the Glenville Band, youth steppers, music. We're going to have fun.
It's a wonderful time. I've participated in that parade a few times. Some years
come
ago.
This 10 o'clock.
I'm going to try and make this one. You and I will talk about that.
Okay.
Yeah. Why is this so special now? What is it that you try to say with the Glenville Community Festival?
Well, you know, daily we deal with the difficulties of our times, when the housing crisis, fighting crime, and issues like that. But you have to take time to provide for the residents who have stayed there. and send signals throughout the community that we're alive and well in Glenville. We're struggling with issues. So the festival is a time for us to have celebration, if you will, to remember the past. We make sure that in the course of this, we remind everybody about where we've come from. And so there is a pride in Glenville. You know that. It's always been that way. And we've got to keep it. So the festival parade is just our way of coming out of our living rooms and off our porches and just remembering that we are a community.
Where's the big event going to be now?
It's right at 88th and St. Clair area, right across the street from the Cleveland Culture Gardens area, the greenhouse.
Yeah.
It's called Sam Miller Park.
Yes.
And it's right there, right at 88th and St. Clair, and we're going to be there from 12 to 8. We got Zap.
Oh.
You know, everyone who remembers Zap, they'll be there, and as well as gospel, reggae, blues, R&B, all day from 8 to 12, music.
Just all day. Well,
then Zap will be the last one that send us home.
You'll know when you get in the area because you'll hear the music and you'll see the good times and the food and all of that.
Food is flowing. The plenty of security. We don't anticipate any problems because we've taken the time to organize it.
August the 14th, which is a Saturday, goes all day long at East 88th Street and St. Clair Avenue, what is now called Sam Miller Park.
Absolutely. We're having great sponsors as well. You know, so
right by the Cultural Gardens, which, by the way, is one of my favorite areas in the world.
It is a wonderful
The Cleveland Cultural Gardens. If you've never seen them,
absolutely,
I'm telling you, you're missing something. There's no place in the world like these cultural gardens,
and there be more and more being added to it. You know, and
they stretch all the way from Lake Erie all the way to University Circle.
Absolutely,
it's a wonderful area.
I would like to really quit saying Radio One, Dave's, Colin Post, Councilman Kevin Conwell, Councilman Eugene Miller also have put sponsor monies into it, as well as Third Federal. So we're having I just want to make sure I say, acknowledge who gave the love.
Yeah, who gave the love. What's your vision, Jeff, for the Glenville community?
To go and stabilize the housing stock. Glenville has been known for the old stately homes, wonderful neighborhoods, still predominantly homeowner occupied. My goal is to go in and deal with these empty homes and get them in the hands to be restored, because, you know, we were ground zero when it came to the crisis. Glenville and Slavic Village were the hardest hit with the crisis in housing.
Foreclosure.
And I don't want, we're losing them. So my number one goal is to sustain the housing, give reason for folks to stay there, as well as to deal with 105th and St. Clair commercial districts, because you remember back in the day when Cafe Society and other stores, Terry Save More was running well up there. So it's a challenge. But that's my goal.
It was a very vibrant neighborhood, as you called it. When my parents moved there in the late 40s, it was called the Gold Coast.
Absolutely.
When they moved there.
When my grandmother moved there, that's what it was.
So it was just a wonderful area. And that's your vision.
That's my vision.
Other than that, things are going well for you at Cleveland City Hall, Mr. Councilman?
It is. I'm back. The folks in the Ward 8 community, because I also represent the St. Clair Superior neighborhood, parts of University Circle, and just want to remind them, Ward 8 is now more than just Glenville. It's a large ward. And they sent me in November, they sent me back, and I think I've enjoyed it, and I hope I continue to represent them well.
I know you will.
Thank you.
It's always good to see you, my friend. Ladies and gentlemen, Jeffrey Johnson, councilman from Ward 8 on Cleveland City Council, and a long time Glenville neighborhood man, grew up in the area right there, obviously still lives in
and
the
with little Collinwood thrown in.
Yeah, little Collinwood thrown in as well, and we talk about the old days.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. We're very proud of you and for never forgetting Glenville. We appreciate it.
I'm proud of you as well.
And I'm wearing a Glenville color.
I noticed that. The red and the black, representing Glenville High School. The red and the black. I should have worn red and black today.
That's right.
Saturday, August the 14th at East 88th and St. Clair. That's where they'll have the Glenville Community Festival celebrating its 35 years.
33 years.
33 years.
33 years. Hopefully 2 more years we'll be sitting here saying it's 35.
I need my eyeglasses.
Okay.
33 years. I got to take a break, but thank you so much.
Thank you for having us. Appreciate it.
In just a moment. We'll be back. We'll talk about authors and illustrators of children's books after this. Welcome back to more of Kaleidoscope. Northern Ohio Society of Children's Book Writers and Illustrators hosts its conference in Cleveland in early September. Authors Lavora Perry and Colleen Kessler are here to share more with us about the organization. Lavora sitting next to me and Colleen sitting over there on the outside. Good to have you with us.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
What is the mission of the Society of Children's Book Writers and Illustrators?
It's a supportive community where aspiring and professional writers and illustrators of children's books can gain knowledge, have a community where there's camaraderie, and learn how to continually develop their craft.
And you help each other, Colleen, I would imagine, help each other with getting the written word onto the blank page to get them started.
Exactly, yeah.
And to keep them going.
And to hone what they're doing and make it better and continue learning about the professionalism.
I hear a lot of people who say they would like to write children's books. Can they become members of the Society of Children's Book Writers and Illustrators?
Absolutely. It's an open membership, and we welcome people from all walks of life that just want to learn about it and that want to dive in head first. And
Lavora, tell me about this this conference that you're holding. You're going to hold on Friday and Saturday, September 10th and 11th.
Well, as you said, it's at the Cleveland Airport Sheraton, and we have a really great lineup. We have an agent, Mark McVeigh from New York, who's offering critiques. Critiques are usually part of the process of all our conferences. We have 2 editors coming in from major houses, Scholastic and Green Willow Press. And we have an art resource coordinator coming in for the illustrators. So, and then presenters like Colleen, local authors, who will be offering workshops to help both writers and illustrators.
Colleen, tell us, when you present now, you're going to be presenting on September the 10th and 11th at the Cleveland Airport Sheraton at this event. What time does it start, by the way?
Well, there's a Friday night event that starts at 5:30, and then it starts Saturday early in the morning at like 6:30.
Kind of business hours. What do you try to keep in mind, Colleen, when you present? What is it that how do you present?
Well, you try to keep in mind the different types of people who will be coming to the conference. There will be writers who are just getting their feet wet and are attending their first conference to kind of learn what they need to do to be a professional writer. And then there will be people who have published or who have gotten very close to publishing books, and they want to know what do they do next to continue on their path.
I'm holding a book up. This is the cover of one of your books right here, right?
Yeah, it comes out in October. It's very exciting. It profiles everyday scientists and kind of answers kids' questions. What do we do with this in the future?
And here's another one that you've authored, Hands-on Ecology. What goes through your mind when you start writing for kids? What should you keep in mind when we write for kids? You've obviously been successful in doing this.
Yeah, you need to think about your audience. What's going to make a kid say, hey, that's cool, and what's going to keep them reading and turning the page. Think like a kid. Okay,
think like a kid.
Yeah.
You would agree with that, wouldn't you, Lavora, as I hold up your book, Tanisha. What's Tanisha about?
Tanisha is about a girl who lives in a community modeled after East Cleveland, who faces a bully, her own insecurities, an evil twin who's invisible. And like Colleen said, really keeping in mind, thinking like a child, remembering your own childhood, tapping into the experiences that you went through, and expressing that in the written word.
So when you hold this conference, these are the kinds of things you talk about as you encourage each other to continue. Write about what you know. Is that vital? Is that important?
That's important. Write what you know, but that doesn't mean if you don't know something, you can always learn it.
Yeah.
So you're not limited to what you've actually experienced.
Lavora, what's the most challenging thing about writing a book?
Continuing from beginning to end. Going back and doing the revision. A well-known saying is writing is rewriting, so not being afraid to get those critiques and then digging in to find out what you can do to take it to the next level.
Colleen, what's the most rewarding part about writing a book?
Having someone say, I liked what you said, or that was a cool science experiment in my case. I had a great time learning about bugs or whatever.
Or whatever it is that you're writing about. Lavora, tell us now, what do you want people to walk away with? We've got a minute remaining when they come to this conference, September the 10th and 11th at the Airport Sheraton, beginning that Friday night, continuing all day, most of the day Saturday. What do you want them to realize?
I think all of us, including our regional advisor, Vicky Salvaggio, who couldn't be here today, want people to know they can be writers. They have the capacity to do it, stick to it, persist, and then to also have the business knowledge to know what things to do in this particular business to be able to be successful.
Let's put a number on the screen where people can get more information about everything we've been talking about. And are there tickets available, or do you buy tickets for this?
Yeah, you register, and it's on the website. The registration packet is on the website.
You can go to the website. There's the website there, nohscbwi.org. You see it written on the bottom of the screen, or you can dial 330-798-2472 for more information on everything we've been talking about, right?
Absolutely.
So you have found success. The page is no longer blank for these two ladies. They actually did the work. Everybody says, I want to write a book, but you wrote the book.
Yeah, that's right.
Good to have you with us, Lavora Perry and Colleen Kessler. They'll be at this big event at the Airport Sheridan on Friday and Saturday, September 10th and the 11th. It will be the Children's Book Writers and Illustrators Conference.
Thank you.
Thank you for being on the broadcast. I'll take a break. Back in a moment. One of our partners on the broadcast is the Urban League of Greater Cleveland. Its Director of Entrepreneurship Center, Samia Bray, is here. Hey, Samia.
Hey, Leon. How are you?
Okay.
Good. It's always good to come and talk with you. Today, I have a very special message from our co-chair of our board, Ms. Pat Ramsey with U.S. Bank.
I'm all ears.
She wants our friends out there to know that the Urban League is going through a progressive transformation. And in that based on the support we've been getting from them, we are growing into an urban league that has programs and processes that are more efficient and effective than they've ever seen before.
So you're really pushing the envelope, which is a good thing.
Yes. And with our CEO, Marsha Maccabee, in place, she is a transformational leader. So we are definitely moving in a direction where the community is going to continue to see things that just meet them where they need.
I know you deal with the entrepreneurship end, helping people get businesses started and stay in business once they do get started.
And hire people so that we make a dent in this unemployment crisis that we are experiencing in the society today.
So that's all part of what the Urban League has long been doing.
Indeed, and in a more efficient and effective way. And we're going through an evolution. And she wants me to tell you that we are learning from our past and we are moving forward. Right now, they're celebrating the 100-year anniversary of the National Urban League. Our affiliate is 93 years old.
So you must have been doing something right for the last 90. You don't hang around that long unless you are doing something right.
But you learn from that experience, and through that experience, you figure out ways to continue to reinvent yourself and do better and better work for the people that you serve.
Thank goodness that the Urban League is here helping us all along, because so many people need sometimes it's just a way to get started.
Yes.
Let me put a phone number, 622-0999. That is the phone number to the Urban League. This is Samia Bray, Director of the Entrepreneurship Center. We both will say so long.
Kaleidoscope, a weekly public affairs program brought to you in partnership with the Urban League of Greater Cleveland, Kaleidoscope Magazine, and News Channel 5.